dealt with ab initio. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important for us to recognize that if you recall, even before we were sworn in to be part of the 8th Parliament, ab initio in the chamber, we as members of the majority had raised issue of eligibility related to the Assin North Member of Parliament elect then. If you recall, there were dramatic representation even from our side. And we had cautioned the implication of that decision for the member to sit in and be part of that decision making on that day. Each one of you will bear witness. And so today we have been vindicated, because from day one we had made our point abundantly clear that the member was invalidly elected. And lo and behold, a court of proper jurisdiction has come to make a ruling. Now, I respect the minority leader, but for him to say that rubbing in government influence and the likes is totally flawed and should be rejected ab initio. We think that if you look at the provisions in our law, the pieces of legislation as well applied, Article 94(2), Section 92 of the Representation Act, and then the Canadian Citizen Act, all put together, were the anchor of the ruling from the court. Now, be it as it may, any law-abiding citizen, when there is a court ruling and you don't agree in law, you need to file a review or go for an appeal. Don't bring in the executive. We have built our country to the extent that we need to respect separation of powers, because the honorable minority leader is part of the legislative arm of government, and the court is part of the judiciary. So if there is a court ruling and you don't agree, you go appeal. You don't organize a press conference on the spur of the moment and start throwing jabs at the executives. I think they are getting confused, and I can understand them. It has blown them off their feet. But for us, it has only justified our claim at the initial stages. So we will advise the minority, if they have any basis to expect a ruling otherwise, all they need to do is to subject themselves to the process. And let's see what will happen from the law court. So it's much ado about nothing. We can understand that this has unsettled them, but if they had reflected upon it deeply, especially the day of swearing in, they will have realized that they were going on a wild goose chase. Let it be a lesson to them. And let's respect the sanctity of our law court. When there is a decision from our court, we should subject ourselves to the due process. And where we think that we can make an appeal, we make necessary appeal accordingly. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
He said cooperation will suffer. That's how he ended it.
He said what?
Cooperation on the floor.
Well,
As a result of this.
well, that is his wild dream. We believe that we set out to serve the people of this country, and let no any member of this chamber think that he has powers of his own. It is the people of this country who has given us the mandate to represent them. So if you are not going to do the bidding of the people of this country, and government is projecting an agenda to bring welfare to the people of this country, and they are going to prosecute an obstructionist agenda, so be it. But we are determined to ensure that the welfare promised by His Excellency the President and the agenda of delivering welfare to the good people of this country, we will do it.
Leader, you related to happenings on the day of election of the Speaker. This decision, do you think it will have an implication on that final decision that was arrived at electing the Speaker?
You don't have to jump the gun. We don't have to jump the gun. We are humble enough to know that there are processes involved in all these things. If we come to that bridge, I'm sure all of us will be motivated to cross that bridge. Thank you very much.
Thank you.